All right. All right, my friend. Well, welcome back to live stream 2 of the Adam and Tom show. So it is Ant. We're ants, I guess. So Adam and Tom, I don't know. Playing with it, you know what I mean, my friend?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we'll get the hang of this eventually. Who knows?
Exactly.
Worst case scenario, we're having fun. And that's what's most important is you and I having fun, talking about life and becoming better people, right? That's
Absolutely.
exactly what we're after.
Absolutely. Well, welcome everyone. This is a Small Scale Life podcast live stream. I am Tom. This is my friend
Adam. Hi.
Adam.
Hi.
And we are the two goobers that are on here doing another live stream. This is our second live stream, and we haven't come up with the name for it yet. So we're calling it, I guess, Adam and Tom Live, which is kind of fun. But yeah, thanks for joining in. Thanks for stopping by. Grab a little cocktail or a drinky drink. I mean, we are doing Sober-tober. So, and we'll talk about that this weekend too. So there you go. I have tea. Just tea today. So yeah, welcome to the show. Everybody. What's that?
Teetotaler.
Teetotaler. Pinky's up, my friend. There we go. Delicious, but hot, man, hot. So yeah, it's been fun. If you have had a second or two and checked out smallscalelife.com, I did put up a post about our little live stream and talk about a little bit. I included the video from last week, and that's linked in there. And I also ripped the audio. I'll have to do the same again tonight, but I'll rip the audio, and that went up in the Small Scale Life podcast. Whoa, Small Scale Life podcast hosting platform as well. So it's all there. You can hear it. If you just like to listen to podcasts, you can turn it on and go. So that is all ready for you. So yes, we are here today. We're gonna talk a little bit. We've got a kind of a fun little topic today, and it's all about the importance of getting out there, the importance of getting away. And the reason this kind of came up is for me, Jules and I, we went away this weekend, and it was super nice. We'll talk about that. Adam, I think you got away too.
Yeah, I got away. Was able to hang out with a bunch of friends of mine that have been great friends since, I don't know, 16 years old. I'm 42 now. It was a father-son fishing trip weekend. Hung out together at Pelican Lake, Wisconsin. Did some fishing, did some catching, which is really important when you're having the little kids out there. My son's 8 years old, right?
Totally.
And we just had a fun time. Kind of got to reminisce about some of the old times, retell some of the stories, tell maybe a couple of new stories, and just kind of reconnect of who I am, right? And I think that's a big point. So we had a fun time. And where do you go, Tom?
So yeah, we went. We got out of here and we went down to. We went to get away from everything, get away from it all. So we went to the Wisconsin Dells. Water slide, capital of the world, tourism. It is a something else because it is nothing but a big tourism trap. But it was super important because we literally did not stay in the Dells. So, I mean, we stayed there, we slept there, but we spent all of our time down in Baraboo, Wisconsin, which is just south. And that is a super cool place. Have you been to Baraboo? Have you hung out there?
Oh, yeah. Beautiful area. You got the hills. You got some of those glens and everything. If I wasn't fishing, I was actually invited to be up in the Dells also. So we're this close.
Oh, man. That's two podcasts now where we're like this close.
Oh, yeah. Well, hey, it's okay. I mean, I don't want to take you away from Jules or anything, but yeah, a friend of mine, he was out getting away with his son. It was
cool.
Deer hunt. It was youth hunt weekend. So he went out there, he shot himself, harvested a nice little buck, was able to get his deer for the season. So
got one, huh?
Yeah, he got himself a nice little buck. It was kind of cool.
That's awesome.
Building those experiences, right?
Yeah. Yep. That is so cool. The deer camp experience is something that, I will be honest, I'm not a real big deer hunter. Imagine that. But getting everybody together at deer camp, spending that time together, telling those stories, being around a campfire or a barrel stove, having some good food. Yeah, you're freezing your keister off out there, but modern deer hunting is a little different than the old days where you're sitting up in a stand 20 feet off the ground and really freezing. Now people have enclosed shelters and all that thing, but you can really build some bonds and spend time together. And I think that's what a lot of people love to do more than the hunting piece, to be honest with you, at least from my perspective. And that's where I'm at. So.
Yeah. I mean, getting out there, having an experience with someone else, whether it's your spouse, even if it's just yourself, just having experiences, it builds you, it changes your perspective, talking to new people, possibly.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
It all goes along with having those experiences and be able to build yourself as a person, like, who am I? What am I? Am I just work? No, yeah. I'm not just work. Tom's more than just the guy that, make sure that these railroads are working properly. Tom's the guy that, he's a special person. I mean, very special.
Well, kind of special. Yeah. Yeah. No, but that's very true. And, the beautiful thing about this trip is we really had no agenda going down there. There was really nothing on the list, right? And this is one thing a trap that we can have is to get just so much planned for when we go somewhere that we don't relax or we don't enjoy it because it's like, bam, bam, bam. It's like a to-do list, right? And before we went down there, I pulled up, I actually did create I got another card. Oh man, it's can't even see the darn thing, but it's got 11 different things. I went and saw, the 15 best things you can do in Baraboo, Wisconsin. And plus I had been there, so I knew a couple things, but some things I didn't know about. Of course, we know Devil's Lake is down there, and Devil's Lake is magical. It is an awesome state park with these 500-foot cliffs that go right down to the water. There's beaches, there's park land there, there's trails all over, campground. We've camped there in the past. It is premier. Plus it's got burial mounds there too, which is very cool. But then there's like the International Crane Foundation. There's the Man Mound. That's another mound that's kind of on the east side of Baraboo that not many people know about. And another place, the Pewitt Ness Gorge. We went there. And it was super cool just to get out and explore. And, I've got this list of 11 things on this little card. Oh, yeah, there you can kind of see it. But anyway, you have these 11 things, and then we kind of just broke from the list. We didn't even do all that stuff. We went to the Mid-Continent Railway Museum, and I got to look around at old railroad stuff and show Jules, okay, this is an old passenger car. Look at this. This is a steam engine, and, I get to railroad out a little bit. But and then we went to a lavender farm and met the owner of the lavender farm, and she was such a nice person and had like 18,000 lavender plants right there, including and then she has like a wildflower area. She's got ponds and waterfalls and this labyrinth made out of lavender. And it was the last day, so it was really cool to get to talk to her a little bit, and I invited her on the show. So, you meet new people, right? You go and see new people, and that's part of the story, and that's part of the fun. And if you have this, big, long list of all the things we're going to do, and then it's like, oh, I'm just stressed out going to thing to thing to thing. So, yeah, totally cool trip. It was great. It was great to get away and reconnect. Totally.
Sounds like a really fun time. I hope that lavender person comes on here and is able to talk with us about, what they're doing with lavender and kind of a different perspective of I know lavender has some relaxing therapeutic things too. I'm sure you learned all about that. And boring poor Jules with Railroad Museum, hey, good for you, bud. Good for you. But
it was fun.
Yeah.
For me.
That's good to get out. And why do you think it's important for you to get away from, you have a beautiful house, you have beautiful views on your property.
Mm-hmm.
You have an awesome wife. Like, why would you even want to leave that?
Right. This is a real good question. And I remember, we were still living in North Minneapolis, and we were having this discussion with Greg Burns from Nature's Image Farm and his podcast and everything. We were actually doing a recording for his show, and we had the same discussion. He's like, why would you leave? You built this life that you don't need a vacation from, but why would you need to leave? And that's the key question. And the answer is, for us, we're going to try to get away once a quarter, just to get out, get away from, I was going to say get away from it all, but we went to the heart of it in Wisconsin Dells, where it is one big tourist trap with restaurants and amusement parks and all that, outlet malls, all that yuck. But for us to get away and just have some time to ourselves and just talk and, not have all the distractions of a yoga class or a podcast or chores or, oh my gosh, I got to can the tomatoes, or, I got to take apart the garden, or, Jules got at a social event with all of her yoga instructor friends, and, we can get away from that and just be ourselves. And, it's good. We had a big trip early this year. We went to Tamarindo, Costa Rica for a yoga retreat. Yes, I did a yoga retreat. And it was great because it was just us, right? And we were out there on the beach and going snorkeling and lots of yoga. And it was just a totally different and new experience. And it wasn't, I got to post all this to social media. I got to keep the process going. I got to answer all these calls from work or anything like that. It was just get away and do it. And, we've just had that experience where we need to get away to reconnect and just go take a breath, and not do all the things. And that's super important, I think. Even for a homesteader, that's on their homestead and working their tails off with the livestock and the chickens and the kids. Just to get away and have that moment to breathe again. I think that's super important. What about you? What do you think, man?
Man, I'm not sure yet. It was such a weird experience for me to leave, right? Because I have my beef here. I have, I'm constantly doing calls. I'm constantly doing shows, trying to get my name out there. This is a beginning business, right? So, and a lot of it is hustle, hustle, hustle. But on the same token, you have to take those times to just relax and just go, okay, I don't have those right now. It was a lot of work ahead of time. So I had to do a lot of, because animals still need to be fed. They still need to do what they need to do. It took a lot of time to get forward all that work. But once I was there, it was like, okay, I don't have to worry about the cows.
Yep.
I don't have to worry about all these phone calls. I don't have to worry about getting ready for a show. Everything is done.
Yeah.
And now it's my time to just spend some time with my friends, lifelong friends, with my son, be able to teach him. So something that I have a beautiful passion for is, fishing, but further deeper than just catching fish is the outdoors, right? Understanding how everything works, those mechanics of how the boat works, how the water works, why the fish are where they're at, and be able to just focus on him for just a little bit of time. Because too often we sit there and we forget about our children, and we're supposed to raise those children, right? We're supposed to teach those children about the cool things that we have in our life. So that, for me, that's what it was. It was, okay, I'm going to take my son, I'm going to teach him something about something that I have a passion for, that I love. And I hope that he continues on with that passion for himself.
That's really good. Yeah, and it takes me back because when my kids were that age, gosh, that was in my when was that? That was in my when they were early 30s, and that if I look back, yeah. So Jules is chiming in. She's upstairs getting getting something ready. We're gonna do a Ayurveda cleanse, a khichdi cleanse. So she's getting that ready, and she said he bribed me with food, and of course here she's preparing this cleanse food. Yeah, I did bribe her with food. I always bribe her with food. Food is my love language. So and she made another good point. The work will always be there. The kids and friends will not. These times are precious. And this is something we learned in a big way, with what happened in 2022. And when my kids were your kids' age, that was my years to really, I was putting the accelerator down at work and I was pushing hard at work. I was trying to climb the ladder and be that vice president at a consulting firm, and it was go, go, go. So I worked. The way I figured out to do it was, at least initially, was I would work the day, maybe get dinner with Jules and the boys, and then I would go back to work and work till like 1 or 2 in the morning, and then crash, get home, crash, and then up and be at the office at 8, and then banging again, trying to push the boulder uphill. And it was just a never-ending flow. And it wasn't until the crash of 2008, and then in 2012, those were 2 points. We had the crash, and one of my VP jobs went away. I got a new job, and they wanted me to be VP, but I was burned out, and I was still trying to work really hard and do all the things and do all the things. And I was supposed to go with Jules on a trip, and we were living in Illinois, and go up to Minnesota. And she's probably going to roll her eyes when I say this, but I got left behind because I was doing this. I had to get the proposal out. I had to get the project done. I had to do all this dumb stuff, and I couldn't go. So by the time I got clear, they had to go. And so I learned some hard lessons by breaking the rocks, and working so hard. And I think that's something else that occurred to us on the farm is, we're going to turn this into an agricultural property with chickens or turkeys or beef or flowers. You pick them flowers and stuff. Your degrees of freedom are less, and you're not going to be able to leave. You're going to have to take care of those critters. Even a dog, right? Even a dog takes time to work with and to let outside. You can't just let them go to the bathroom in a box like a cat. So there's degrees of freedom you have. And as you start to build this thing, you have to think about, how many degrees of freedom do you have? Can you go and do that thing? What's it going to take to do that thing? And like you said, the cows are fed and the kids are set, and whatever else is happening, and I can go. So there's a lot to it. Did I answer the question? I don't even know. Kind of got on a
either. Doesn't really matter.
So yeah, there's a lot to it, and that's one thing. Especially. Once Danny crossed the bridge, it was like, what are we doing this for? And what is important to us and the family and friends, the kids, spending time, having a place to gather where everybody can come. That was priority. And, at times you got to get away from that. It might be Shangri-La and heaven, but sometimes you have to, we're built to explore. We're built to have adventure. We're built to go see things. And that's what we have to do every once in a while. Go see something beautiful, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, we have this intrinsic want to do something new, to see something new, to meet new people, to experience life, and sometimes when you're not experiencing life, you get in this stale ruts. And I think that's one of the things is what you're doing when you're going on a trip is you're breaking that rut.
Yep.
You're doing something that goes, okay, this is new. This is exciting. Sometimes it's working towards that trip, save up your money to do something cool. Like, oh, I'm going to go to Hawaii. I'm going to save a bunch of money.
Yeah.
And I think it's also in your head, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's this thing that getting up to doing that whole experience, that whole trip, where's your expectations? What do you expect to do with your time when you're going to be there? And just it's so many different things and so many different people, but it has to be for you, right?
Right.
It can't be for someone else. You can't be going, all right, I'm going to do a trip for someone else, and I'm sure we've both done it before where it's like, we're doing this for the beautiful wives that we have, and sometimes that's it. But to truly relax, it has to be somewhat selfish, something for yourself. And so what are some of the, I guess, to next is, what are some of the benefits that you have for when you get that experience, when you have come back after that, or unless you're like, well, we'll wait for that one later, Adam. What are some of the benefits that you're finding that you're like, okay, I left for a weekend. What do I like? What is it now? Even just short little 2-3 day trips. What is it like now?
Yeah. So obviously it was a chance for me and Jules to talk about, what is the next chapter going to look like? What's the next phase going to look like now that we're here, right? And where do we see ourselves in 5 years? And that's not just something you say at some job interview. It's something you can do for yourself too. And then what's amazing is the things we set up when we did this exercise in 2019. We've accomplished all that in like 3 years. It was crazy how that just manifested. It might not have been the right thing, but it definitely manifested and got us on the path. So definitely that connection and that kind of that slowing down and the chance to think and breathe, and, what else for us? Getting out into nature and seeing some things we haven't seen before, like that glen, the gorge, which just was so cool and magical. I mean, the leaves are changing and falling, and there's little waterfalls, and it's just like, and we kind of went to an out of bounds area, so we were kind of off the path. And
This is recorded, that, right?
I know. I mean, it was just over a little.
Allegedly,
it might have happened or may have not happened. Yes, everything can and will be used against us in the court of law. But seeing some of those things and experiencing those things, it really connects you with that area, and you can feel a sense of calm and peace. And it's not just go, 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 go. Meeting the new people, sharing a little bit about yourself, and then learning from them too. And like you're asking me questions, I was asking the lavender lady questions, and it was kind of fun, and I had my ulterior motives because I thought the place was super cool. So, yeah. And just going to see something new, the beautiful thing, this is really interesting because the beautiful thing about my job is I get to have these little trips all the time. And Jules said at one point, she's like, I need to do a little trip. And she's absolutely right. Every couple weeks or so, I go out on a trip. I go down to Milwaukee. I go up to Appleton. I go to Green Bay. I go to St. Louis, right? St. Louis, yeah. But I go to places and I can see things along the way, and it just, it's kind of that wandering thing. And that's where the whole On the Road little song that I sing comes from. I was on the road and I was like, on the road, because that's what I do for a job now. And it's the best job in the world. So, it just fulfills that for me. Getting on the drive, I get excited about that. Like coming down to see you, I was super excited to come down and see you and show up and surprise you. It was a good time. So, yeah, I think just seeing something new and experiencing something new and just getting away from, even though it's heaven, getting away from it for a little bit to just be something else, be something new, see something new.
No, that's great to be able to go out there, do something. For me, it was a lot of, when I came back, I was like, oh, I got more work to do. But it was, like I said, it was nice just to be able to relax, not have to worry about the cows for a couple of days, get a good night's sleep and sit there and go, and not wake up in the middle of the night. Like, I literally have dreams of cows mooing. And whenever I hear a cow mooing, I'm like, oh, did they get out? So I have to get up, check, make sure they didn't get out, and then get myself comfortable again in bed and everything. So it was, but to be able to just reconnect with all the boys, like I said, these guys are the same guys I fished with since I was 16 years old. And when I was 16, our lives were a whole lot different than when we were, mid to late 20s to 30s to now I'm in my 40s. Like, we've had all these experiences together, and part of it was they were kind of feeling a little left out. I didn't go on the big summer fishing trip with the boys. I skipped out on a couple other opportunities to hang out with them because I'm busy. I'm working. They understand that. They respect that. On the same token, they feel left out. It's like any relationship, whether it's with your spouse, with your children, with your parents, or even with your good buddies. You have to spend time to nurture those relationships. And you don't do that, well, you start losing those relationships.
Yep,
and you start growing apart. So part of it was just that. A lot of it was just having that experience with my son, being able to go, hey, this is something I love to do. And I felt a lot fresher, my mind was clearer. I have a couple heavy things laying on my mind, as far as business goes, like how am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? Able to talk those through, but also take a second, not think about anything. And it's amazing when you stop thinking about all those problems, the solutions just kind of show up.
Right, they do.
So hopefully we may have come up with a couple solutions or a couple of realizations like, well, what are we going to do? We can't do that at this time right now. So what are you going to do? Oh, well, let it go past and keep moving forward.
Save it for later, right?
Right.
Lisa says not to have to pick up chickens. I think that's a benefit for being on the trip, is to not have to pick up chickens, not have to pick tomatoes, not have to process tomatoes. Not worry about little kitties getting outside and eating a bird.
Well,
not worrying about the cows. Like when I saw you had been out all night finding your cows that had kicked the can and gotten out of the pen. So yeah, that is a big deal, right? Or if you have like the sheep, like are the coyotes coming in to take a sheep or take some of your chickens? I mean, that's a big concern for folks, that's your prize laying hen, and you might get it gone just like that.
Right. Well, Lisa, my beautiful wife, decided that I was going to go Friday to go pick up chickens. I'm like, I got to pick up chickens. I got to take care of my customers. We're out of chickens and they're at the processor. I got to go pick them up. She goes, I'm going to be going up there anyways to go. How would I just pick the birds up? So yeah, she picked up chickens, and just a small little thing like that was a huge relief to me. Just going, okay, someone else is doing that portion of it, and it's being taken care of. So we're good. We're in the clear.
Nice.
So,
nice.
Absolutely.
So it does occur to me right now that there's at least 5 people on this. 4 of them are me, you, Jules, and Lisa. So that is kind of funny.
It's like a double date.
I know, right? And we're going to have, I know you're up there listening, Jules. I can hear the little processor going, whir. You're going to have to get on the show with me and Adam and Lisa. So, there you go.
Oh, poor girls.
I know.
Or poor us, one or the other. It's not going to end well with somebody. I'm
waiting for the floorboards to get stomped on, or a ha 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 up there or something, or I can't believe you said that. Welcome to live streaming, right?
Absolutely. Why not? Hey, it's as real as life can get, as far as a podcast type form. So
right. And no problems this time with trailers that broke down, boats worked okay, everything worked, and no one hit a deer.
No one hit a deer. Everything got up there. It was almost kind of boring rides. Yeah, we and everyone got along. Then again, you know how it is with guys. Everyone just kind of gets along. You know, someone gets out of line, just make fun of them, right?
Right. You make fun of me all the time. Yeah.
Never.
Exactly, my friend. So that's good. I mean, now looking forward, that's before I get to that. That's another part of the whole trip process is paying for it. We live in a very expensive time. Very inflation is high. Funds are tight. To do something like this, you have to make a commitment to do it and set aside some money, or some people throw it on a credit card, but it can get expensive fast.
Oh yeah, I mean and that's one of the nice things about where I was at. It was a cheap weekend. I mean, maybe it was $100 in gas and $20 in baits and food. Well, we ate right there. So I mean, for about $150, the boy and I were able to hang out and do our thing and have a good time.
Right. And what we did is since I do travel quite a bit, I use points from one of the hotel chains, and I use that to reserve the room and pay for the room. And okay, yes, we ate at a restaurant, which was really good. We actually ate at a brewery and kitchen called Tumbled Rocks, right on the base of Devil's Lake. But Jules can attest to this. Did not have any alcoholic beer or any spirits, so it was a success for sober October. So,
why are you slurring your words, though?
What's that?
Why are you slurring your words?
It's this tea. It's very strong. Delicious. So, yeah, so we try. I mean, yeah, we spent some money with the lavender folks, but it was worth it. And gave a donation to the Railroad Museum and we actually bought some Christmas presents, and I bought a shirt. I mean, it helps support those kind of groups that you align with or that you appreciate and like. And since we're not spending a ton of money on hotel rooms, we had a little bit of money to do that. So it's all good.
Right. Well, I mean, just because you're leaving your house doesn't mean it has to be expensive, right?
Right.
There's a lot of ways to, not cheap out, but
cheap out.
Yeah,
save money.
Make it more affordable.
Right.
One of the things we did is I made a big egg bake. We ate there. It saves time, saves money. Just okay. We brought a lot of snacks. When you're taking out kids on a fishing trip, it's all about the snacks, right?
Totally
you got
is.
Snacks there. They get soda and stuff like that. Something they don't necessarily always get. Where's the cat this time? I don't see the cat.
I shut the door, so little kitties are upstairs and not allowed in today. So yes.
Oh. That was the best part about the first show.
Yes. Hey, Yoga Kitty is, yes, she would be down here eventually. So yeah, I did shut the door though. So, to keep the flow going, my friend. So
yeah, but
yeah, go ahead.
You can get good food. I know a guy. You can get good food and do a lot of the stuff affordably. You don't have to go extravagant. You just need to let your mind relax. And that's what we're all always looking at, right? Is how to relax your mind enough to actually think.
Right.
And that was one of the best things about it is, I wasn't worried about spending a bunch of money, paying for the bills afterwards because I was being frugal. I don't think it took away one little bit from the experience. We were able to just go out, have a good time, stay at my buddy's cabin. His dad has this beautiful cabin, but yeah, it's a nice place right there on the lake. So
nice.
It's good to have good friends, right?
Right, absolutely, yeah, especially those with lots of delicious food. So, I remember a few years ago I went on a fishing trip with Julie's cousin, and he acted like the guide. We went up onto the Rainy River up near Baudette, Minnesota, and we went sturgeon fishing. It was, late September, early October. But man, it didn't cost $1 billion. He brought tons of food, and really good stuff, homemade pickles, that kind of level, and had egg bakes and all that kind of stuff. And we caught fish. We didn't keep any of the sturgeon. It was mainly just for catching prehistoric beasts that are bigger than my table here, that are bigger than the back of his boat. He had one that was that big, and I tried to land it and I kind of screwed up, but it was a massive fish, and we let them all go. And it was so much fun. But we camped, and we brought up food, and it just was gas and some beer and some food, some money for food, and away we went. So it worked out really well. You can get really creative with some forethought and planning and working with other people that are part of your party or your spouse, and you can figure that stuff out, and really have a good time and not spend a lot of money.
Well, I think that's one of the things people always sit there and go, oh, I got to go on vacation. It's going to cost a lot. Doesn't need to cost a lot. You don't need to even go anywhere too extravagant. I mean, you went to the Dells, Wisconsin Dells. Is it an awesome place to go? Absolutely. And there's so many other cool natural things there for you to go visit, for you to go see, and there's a lot of things that are inexpensive to go see and go do. And it's about more to the experience and enjoying the ride than what did you do. And I think you did that. I did that. It was fun. So
I'm just sending Jules a quick text.
Oh boy.
She had to drop off. She's left the chat, but I wanted to tell her that I just got a notice that the Northern Lights might be popping right now. So I was going to tell her to go outside and take a look.
Well, I have an app for that. It's up to KP5. That was 45 minutes ago that sent me that. Let's go take a look here. Yes, dead air. That's always good, right?
Yeah, right. I know. As we're looking at an app while live streaming, what the hell are we doing? Yeah, I'm up at about 5.332 right now. So
does that show up? It shows up. Okay,
it sure does. Yeah, man.
Yeah. Yep. So it's as of right now, the prediction is not going to be as close as we would think.
Yeah,
as we'd want it to be.
Right.
But,
Yep. This is more what mine looks like, and I'm the little blue dot there. That's me, and that's where the stuff is really popping. But I did this the other night too. I was I got that message, and I was like, it's going to be out there later, right? So I waited on it, and I went out about 45 minutes later, nothing. Then I get on Facebook the next day, and everybody's like, 9:45. It was popping out there in the beautiful reds and greens. And I was like, are you kidding me? So I've got to say, since moving here to New Richmond, we've seen the Northern Lights 3 or 4 times. And I saw it once down at Driftless Oaks Farm, which was super cool, super vibrant, super awesome. That was like, holy cow, awesome. But you just got to love the Northern Lights, and seeing that kind of thing. So, well, how we got on Northern Lights, well, that's my fault, I guess. So.
Well, that kind of is actually bringing us right into one of the next things that I kind of wanted to talk about.
Oh, whose show is this? Are you running the show?
Yeah. No,
okay. Yeah. I'm good with
it. So one of the cool things that trying to find those times of the day to take like mini vacations, micro vacations, if you will. In the morning, maybe clearing your head, meditating, whatever, just listening to music, clearing your head. Maybe that's in the car when you're sitting there. I'm sure if I ever would pull up next to you down the interstate, you're sitting there jamming out, like, rocking it, and
you might be surprised. You're
very reserved.
I used to listen to a lot of metal back in the day. But as I've gotten a little older and more mature, and more mindful, I think, my music taste of change. And, I'm not just jamming on metal. I'm listening to other things, more calming things. I happen to be married to a yoga instructor with her own little yoga business who's all about breath work, meditation. I have a very good friend who's an intuitive energy healer, and she's all about sound healing and breath work and all of that stuff. So it is very important, I think, to clear your mind. For me, I go outside, and I've got 2 massive white pine trees over here, and I sit underneath the white pines in a red metal chair like my grandma used to have, which is super cool. Or I go to the garden and I sit there, or even I sit on my back deck and I just am watching the birds, listening, trying to turn off the BS for a bit and just absorb it. Right. So yeah, I mean, getting away to just those little breaks are so important. And, when you're jamming on the same thing for hour after hour after hour, I'm getting sore. Right. I'm getting tight. I need to move. So that helps. And I know Jules is probably going to say, well, you need to take a walk with me after work. So like you should have today, but I didn't. So how about yourself?
Well, life gets busy, right?
Yep.
I'm always doing something. There's always another project. Everything has to be done. But your mind starts getting cluttered.
Yes.
And one of the things I've been doing lately is doing some breath work, especially in the morning. I like doing like a lot of the breath work that Wim Hof likes to promote. Just sitting there, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, circular breathing, and then hold your breath for however long you decide to do it. And just it helps wake up the mind.
Yes.
But you're doing something that you can't focus on all the other things that you're worried about. And then to constantly be worried and thinking about everything that you need to do, it almost gets overwhelming. And it's almost horrible. But so just sitting there going and appreciating, maybe it's an awesome sunrise or an awesome sunset. Go, all right, I'm not even no social media, no nothing. Right. I'm just going to take this in for what it is. This is for me. Be able to take some time for yourself. Maybe it's exercising. A lot of people, it's the time that they just relax. It's, even though it's physically stressful, it's relaxing. There's a beautiful sunset. Okay, I don't care what I have going on. I have to take that time. The Northern Lights are out. Oh, well, I have to go see that, because for me, that's taking time for me. And then there's times you just schedule time that you're going to go, all right, Sunday evening, we are going to make ourselves a really delicious dinner. Take time, enjoy ourselves, and be relaxed. I think that when they started putting politics and football, that was people's, diffusing of their week. Sunday, watching all of a sudden there's politics and sports. That was a huge turnoff for people. I'm glad that they toned that way down again. But it's important to just go, you know what? Yes, the world's not going to fall apart if I don't do X, Y, Z. I can take this time. I need to take this time, because guess what? You end up getting better ideas. You end up being fresher in your head, not so cluttered, and just kind of, you got to wipe that brain free.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's a lot to unpack there. So we'll start with the breath works first. Like I said, yoga instructor Jules, right? And she talks about the 1-to-1 breath, samavriti breath. And, that's part of her. If you go to a yoga session with Jules, she'll talk about that quite a bit, and how you breathe and you take your 3 deep cleansing breaths and exhale together. And it kind of sets your mind, it's kind of like turning the page, and now I'm here, and okay, I'm doing this, and let's leave all the to-do list back there, right? Because I'm taking a deep breath and exhaling and going forward. So yeah, breath work, and that is yoga. Breath work is yoga. Wherever you are, whether you're driving down the road, whether you're at the farmer's market waiting for your next customer, you're like, there's a guy that he does his Thrive Like a Viking live stream on Monday, and he does a meditation session, like 3 minutes of his live stream. It's breath work and meditation, and he's hold. It's kind of fun to watch, but maybe we'll have to do that once or twice, Adam. Maybe we'll bring in Jules, the breath work expert, and she can show us how it's done. But yeah, it's really important. I don't think we don't get enough oxygen. We don't, right? We don't do that enough, and we need to. So, gosh, I forgot where else I was going to go with. What else were you talking about right there? Exercise. Yes. So I kind of alluded to it at the end of the last podcast or maybe I didn't talk about it. We talked about it a little bit afterwards, but kind of the inward journey. We've had the endless summer outward journey, right? We're outside and we're growing vegetables, and now everything is starting to die back. And we're going to, if you look at our traditional ancestors, what did they do? They went into the longhouses, they went into the lodges, and they got very close, and they had kind of an inward journey, right? Because they weren't going outside. It was super cold out there. So we're kind of doing this. I'm kind of going with a change here where it is go with the flow of the season. So we've had our outdoor season. Now it's an inward journey, focusing on the body, mind, and spirit kind of stuff. So that's kind of what I'm going to be doing on Small Scale Life and this next season coming into dark winter and all that good stuff. So, yeah. So I don't know. What else were we talking about there? I think I lost track. I think I squirrel momented it actually. So,
well, just taking a second, no matter how busy you are, and enjoying what you have going on around you.
Yes.
There's all these cool things that are happening on a daily basis. Going outside. This is one of the things that I absolutely love to do is there's a route that I like to walk in the morning. It's this beautiful, there's oak trees on both sides of the road. They meet up in the middle over the road. It's a nice little canopy.
Nice.
I travel first east to go into the sun, and then as I'm walking back, that's the same path, and I drive that same path probably about 10 times a week, if not more. It's amazing when you take the time to walk it and see the changes of the season. It puts you in perspective a lot more. You take that drive, or when you're driving at even if you're driving at 25 miles an hour, you miss so many miles. You don't see the rocks that are there. Like, oh, I didn't know there was a rock over there. And oh, I didn't know that there was an old piece of equipment over there. But when you're walking, you start seeing that. You start seeing, oh, hey, there's this tree is a really cool looking tree. You would never notice it unless you slow down. And that's what I guess a vacation is in some regards, or mini vacations, micro vacations, is you slow down. Your perspective changes, and you're able to see things you would have never have seen before. You're able to appreciate them, but also learn. And I think that's one of the biggest things is to learn. You have to learn in order to grow, right? I don't know if that was written down somewhere on a mug or something I have.
Yeah, something about learning, doing, growing, and being a little better every day. Absolutely. And we are blessed. We have some really cool parks, state parks that are right around us. Willow River State Park. There's a huge waterfall there. It's beautiful. There's a lake. There's the river, trails, and then we've got we're close to St. Croix River, so there's tons of parks up and down this area, plus the kayaking and all that. But yeah, what I liked about what you were saying about your morning walk, I mean, you're walking in like the hall of oaks, right? I mean, it is strength. Oak tree is the strength, and a symbol of a very masculine, strong tree, right? Thor, right? Thor is the oak, and you're walking to it, and it's kind of coming into this to the palace, right, or to the throne room, and you're there, and you're doing this journey. So I think that's kind of a cool symbolism, actually. Did we drive on that road when we were together? I don't even remember.
No, I don't believe
Okay.
we had a chance to go down that road, but yeah,
Okay.
it's become a special place for me because no one really goes down that road, especially in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just me and the dog walking along. There's usually deer in one of the fields there, and I got to see some cool red-tailed hawks, and just
Cool.
it's my time just kind of go, okay, let's start this day right,
Mm-hmm.
And I think in general, those micro vacations, however you're going to do it, it's a good thing, if and not just sitting there finger fuddling around on your cell phone. Oh, I'm going to relax for a little bit. Okay, I'm going to look at Facebook. Oh, I can't believe that so and so. Exactly, right there.
Yep. Oh, they only did $750. I can't believe it. Yeah, that kind of thing.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Or politics, or there's always going to be someone to disagree with.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
People argue just about anything, but we can move forward. We can become better people by just looking at ourselves and just relax that mind. It's going to be the biggest thing that you can do to move forward.
Right.
It's something I have a hard time doing, right? Because I feel like, oh, I gotta do this. I gotta keep moving forward. But sometimes to move forward, you gotta take a break, breathe. There's that old story. There's two lumberjacks. They're in the woods, and they both arrive at the same time every morning. The one lumberjack, he's sitting there whacking on this tree, chopping down tree after tree after tree, and he notices that this other guy, he leaves for lunch every single day, but at the end of the day, they both have the same amount done. And the one guy goes at the end of the day, he's really frustrated. He goes, "Look, I'm strong, I'm spry, I know how to do things, I know how to I'm an artist at chopping down trees. This is what I do. How can you get done as much as I get done?" And he goes, "Well, I go home for lunch every single day and I sharpen my axe." And to sit there and you gotta sharpen your axe, that your mind's an axe, your mind is your biggest, most important tool. You gotta sharpen it. Whether that's, relaxing for a bit, you rest, you get some energy, and then you sharpen that edge. You make that tool the sharpest tool you possibly can, and become a better person. That's just it, and that's, you have to stop what you're doing. You can't necessarily do it while you're sitting there just hammering down at all seconds of the day.
I like that. So here's my sharpen the axe story. It's a little different than yours. So back when I was a young engineer, just getting out of school, or just got out of school, had my first gig. Oh, we were working our tails off on this project for the DOT, and we were working all hours of the day and night trying to get this done. And I was I'm only like a 2-year guy out, or a year guy, about a 2-year guy out. So really green engineer, right? And my boss had been gone, and he came back, and he was frustrated that we weren't further along. And I was like strung out, just like, because it was all on me, right? And he's like, "Yeah, you just gotta, just run the tutorial, sharpen the axe, sharpen the saw, and it'll go faster." And I was like, I'll give you faster and sharpen this tool, dude. I mean, he's probably right, but at that moment, it was like I could say some words, but yeah, that was a little different story. But yeah, that is totally true. Is if you take the time and you prep yourself and your mind and do more, like read and just be bored for a bit. I mean, you're going to come up with some ideas. You're going to come up with ways to fix things or do things a little different or approach it a little different. And yeah, and you just need to do that. And in our culture, it's just go, 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 go. And then if you're done, when you're done with work, well, then you got to rush home and grab your kids and take them to soccer, so take them to lacrosse, take them to hockey, take them to basketball, take them to whatever. And it's a 24/7 now. It's all year round. You're doing basketball. It's traveling basketball. It's basketball during the school year, before school year, after school year, summer ball, all that stuff. It was just, it's crazy, you know, how we are on the go all the time. And that affects your eating. It affects your ability to think, because all you're doing is running from point A to B to C to D to E, and then you're collapsing in bed at night. And that's all you got time for. So yeah, taking the time, slowing down, taking the mini vacation, taking time to breathe, taking time for a walk, especially with your lovely wife when she's done with work. It's a good thing.
I highly recommend it. I mean, come on.
I know.
Cool people, you know.
What's that?
Jules is cool people, you know.
Oh yeah, she absolutely is. Absolutely. She's good. She's awesome.
May have interesting taste in men, but you know, hey, who am I to judge?
Well, you know, both of our lovely ladies found a way to hang out with us and stick around with us. So I don't know.
Absolutely.
It must be pretty special.
Well, it could be worse. Could be worse.
So we are approaching the hour mark here, my friend. We've been going a bit. Do you want to talk about stuff that you're working on? You've got some events coming up, I'm sure. I'm sure you've got some wonderful meat things happening, things with your meat business, and feel free to divulge. What's happening, dude?
Well, we're just kind of keep moving. We're looking at options we're in the midst of figuring out how to do and build a food truck, which would be a great opportunity for me to be my own customer, right? We'll see how that goes. There's a lot of ins and outs on that one right now, and how can we make that happen? I have some great people I'm working with, and hopefully we can continue working with them and, you know, find a way around some problems. But other than that, well, we'll be doing a couple Halloween events.
Cool.
So this Halloween, I'm gonna be the Bloody Butcher. I gotta figure out how to make bloody letters in this, like make this look bloody on a butcher's coats.
Nice.
So,
yeah.
But yeah, that's the gist of it. Got to do more chickens, you know, and just always trying to think of like, how can I grow, how can I get more customer base, yet also still have enough product to take care of that customer base. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yep.
So,
and it hurts, I'm sure, when you've got somebody who really likes something and you're totally out and you go, oh, I don't have that. Well, you want to try this? And then like, yeah, I really wanted that. Yeah. It's tough, dude. I get it.
Absolutely. It's such a balance. You never want to necessarily tell a customer no, but sometimes you got to. But that's the gist of what we're doing right now as far as the business. Have to so many great ideas to do. It's all that time, you know.
Right.
Doing it, trying to streamline, make things more efficient. But it's a cool thing. We're growing, and hell, Tom, you've got to see from the very beginning and kind of see me grow. And don't worry, as you keep going, I'll drag you along for the ride.
Kicking and screaming. Well, and it's funny because Joel's like, "Oh, go pull something out of the freezer for cooking today," and I grabbed 2 of your steaks, and I was like, "Oh." want to do these, but I have a podcast to do with Adam. So I better wait. I'm going to hold off for now. And I did some pork instead, but yeah, it was right there. I had it in my hands and I thought, we'll do it next time. So, not podcast night, because that's fun. And I to cook those beautiful pieces of art, you have to have the time and do it right. Right.
Absolutely. It's though don't let that special occasion go and like, oh, it's for a special occasion. No, special occasions can be on a Tuesday night, just not Monday nights.
Just not Monday night. Oh, Lisa says, hi, Dad. She must be putting one of the little ones to bed for you. So that's a good thing. So, yeah. So I don't know if you can see the comments pop up or not, but I'll read them up. Yeah. Yeah. We're figuring out how this StreamYard thing works. And eventually I would like to do the paid version. So this little duck up in the upper corner will go away and we can run banners on the bottom like buy meat from Modern Frontier Farms. Here's the latest special, blah, or something like that. So that all that is possible with this really cool software. And you can even do an intro and outro video, which would be awesome. So my friend Greg Burns, again, from Nature's Image Farm, he does some very, very cool stuff. So let's see what's going on here. So the crock, I did not start anything with the crock like I thought I would, but that's okay. I thought I was going to be doing pickles. My pickles were a little old and they were getting yucky. So they went bye-bye. And at the same time, I had to go up north and help my mom. She was heading to Florida. And that brings up another big thing. So a lot of folks right now are bracing themselves down in Florida. Our hearts, and we're thinking of all those folks. Get out of the way, get out of there, go somewhere safe. Also, there's a lot of people raising money and doing things for the folks that got hit by the last hurricane. So we've got two massive needs right now in this country to help people. So find something, help them out. I guess that's my call to action, even though we just posted the podcast 1 and you could listen to that. But I think that's a pretty important thing to help out other people out when they have a need like that. So this week, I was looking up some recipes in a book called Canning, and it's looking for things to make, and I've got some ideas. So I'm not sure if I think I'll be able to get to them this week. We're going to go to our friend's house again, a small little vacation. We're going to go to our friend Mariah's place, Tim and Mariah's place this weekend. So I might not get to it, but I've got strawberries that need to be planted, strawberry plants. And I've got comfrey that just popped up on the shoreline. So I am doing a happy dance about that because I've got my comfrey. Whoop, 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 whoop. So the crowns popped up after about 14 days of putting down roots. So I've got another 9 root cuttings back there that I'm hoping sprout that I can get in the ground before frost. So we're going to have comfrey at this place, like it or not. Here we come. So
very cool.
That's kind of what we're doing here. So, yeah. All right. Well, where can we find you, Mr. Adam?
Well, so get a hold of me at modernfrontier.com, and you can see all the listings of products that we hold. Feel free to get a hold of me on Facebook. I'm a Modern Frontier, also TikTok and Instagram. So yeah, come on over if you have any questions. Get a hold of me. I'm more than happy to answer. I'm responsive. Even if you don't buy from me, if you just want to have questions about where your food comes from and how to find that right person, I want to help you.
Awesome. The and the meat is very good. Is farmers market season done? Are y'all done now with that?
At my 2 markets all the way to the 31st of October, Halloween.
Wow.
It'll be fun. Up until the very end, and after that, I'm setting some stuff up with a couple different places that'll go there. A couple establishments. One's a brewery.
Cool.
And then the other one, we're not sure exactly who it's going to be yet. One, they do like a lot of probably this place that does some herbs and stuff. Kind of wild edible herbal remedies type deal. They're really interested in working with me, so hopefully something cool will come out of that.
Cool. And you're in a couple grocery stores, like 4 or 5 grocery stores, and then Rushing Waters too, right?
Yep, I'm in four grocery stores, and we're growing. So products available. Obviously, you can come on out to the farm if I'm around. Typically, I ship right out to people. Bring right to your door, make it convenient for you. It actually ends up being more convenient for both of us because I'm not at home all the time, and since I'm running around all the time, more than likely I'll be coming past your house, and it's easy enough for me to just stop over, drop a nice box right there at your doorstep, keep it convenient. Or if I'm not in the area, I ship right to you. I ship down to Chicago. I can ship all the way down to St. Louis, believe it or not.
Believe it or not. Awesome, dude. Yeah, that's great. And if you don't remember where to find Adam, I do have a link in the show notes of this podcast. So you can find all my contact information there too, smallscalelife.com. Also, if you want to just listen to the audio, I will be ripping the audio and putting it up on the Small Scale Life podcast platform. So folks can download and listen to that, or listen to that as they drive along and do their breath work, right? Or go to their favorite spot and maybe have a nice conversation with us as they take a walk, right? So that's the idea. Or go work out and you can listen to us and go, I love those guys, as they pump up 250 pounds in the bench press. So, yeah. So this has been a lot of fun, my friend. I think with that, no other comments in the comments. Thank you all who tuned in and gave us comments, Jules, Lisa, and other folks that are still watching us. We really appreciate it. We'll be back next week with another interesting topic. I don't know what it'll be yet. We kind of just fell into this one with just how life worked. Yeah, I'm sure we'll come up with something, right?
Oh, I'm sure. Well, otherwise we'll just freehand it, whatever.
Fake it till you make it is what I always heard. So, well, thank you, everybody. Remember to learn, do, grow, be a little better every day. And that, my friends, is a good thing. This is Tom signing off, and
Adam with Modern Frontier. Thanks, Tom.
Yeah, we'll see y'all real soon. Take care, everybody. See you next time.